Hello there, and welcome to episode one of Branding for Chartered Accountants. I have been very active on LinkedIn and sharing a lot of thoughts about branding specifically for chartered accountants. But I thought it's time, and with a lot of deliberations, actually, with a lot of delay, I am finally starting this podcast where I'll be sharing. So, of course, with through this episode, I'll be sharing as to what exactly is this podcast about and what we will be doing on this podcast. Before that, a very short introduction about myself. My name is CA Parinita Adukia. By qualification, I am a chartered accountant. But by profession, I am running my company Portraiture since 8 years now, and we are into branding for chartered accountants. So, what we do is we assist chartered accountants in their growth, specifically practicing chartered accountants through their correct offline and online branding presence. Okay. So that's about me. Currently, I'm handling very known and also a lot of CAs. We handle the LinkedIn pages, we handle the digital presence. We also assist them in their branding, marketing, and sales techniques. Mind you, all ethical ways of growing their practice. Okay. So coming to the point, why have I started this podcast? So what I have realized through my years of being present on social media is that I really love connecting to people, and especially through audio and video. I love speaking, which I didn't know previously, specifically speaking with people, sharing my experiences or sharing things where I feel I can really add value. If I don't feel I am adding value, you might not see me speaking or conversing with you. That's me. So what I felt is I have been, like I said, I've been very active on LinkedIn on through my text post and my infographics and all. But I think it's time where consistently I be with you and share a lot of things. That's one of the reasons. But the second, what I felt is so I've been working with a lot of practicing CAs through my journey in as a branding professional. There is a gap about the awareness of CAs. CAs are practicing CAs, they might, like I've always said, practicing CAs are amazing in their service. They provide quality service and they always try to give their best. But what happens is in amongst this, when they are, so focused in their service, they really don't have that time or that exposure of what other chartered accountants are doing or what is happening in the market or what are the marketing strategies that they can apply for their practice or for even as a professional CA. What is it that they can do to go to the next level? See, we all see growth in over the years when you are working. But what is the growth rate and how fast are you growing? This really matters. And now that you have to become digitally active, this has become really important where you're really aware of what is happening around. So this gap where I feel chartered accountants need more awareness about and a platform to spread the awareness about their journey and also to understand from other practicing CAs what is happening and to get a sense of what are the ways that they can really brand themselves. Okay, so I really found this gap and I really want to add value here. So this is the podcast specifically dedicated to chartered accountants. Okay, I might sometimes in between cover other professionals because a lot of professionals I see as CFA, CMA, of course, their work somewhere aligns with chartered accountants. But I being a CA, I think there is this biasness. I don't want to term this as biasness, but yes, I really want to add value to this community of chartered accountants. Okay, so this was about why am I starting this um, podcast overall. Now, coming to what can you expect from these podcasts? What are the kind of topics that I will be covering? Because this today is just an introductory episode. I do not want to get into a lot of things. This is just to spread the awareness about this podcast. That's it. Okay. So there are a lot of topics that I will be covering, but under the umbrella of branding for chartered accountants. Okay. The first and the foremost concept that I will be covering through, again, different episodes. So what are the topics that I'm telling? It's not a sequential or structured thing, but these are things that I will be covering directly or indirectly in the episodes. The first concept is personal branding for chartered accountants. Now, see, the base of personal branding and why it's important for chartered accountants is that chartered accountants cannot market themselves, right? In the sense, they cannot do paid advertisements. They cannot go and indulge in some services. Okay, I'll pay this Google ad or, these kind of services. Neither can they solicit clients through advertising the services of what services do I provide. So now with this code of conduct, how can you build a brand for yourself that people, not even in your CA community, of course, but even others get to know, okay, this is a CA who works in a particular area or something. He's a known CA and he provides quality service. Building a brand for yourself is really important as a CA because, and this I have discussed with a lot of practicing CAs also. Note this, that when somebody is coming to you for a service so you are a CA and somebody comes to you for, any work, say GST or audit or whatever. Most of the times, and this goes for 90% of CAs out there, not talking about the big tens of the of India, the CA firms, but most of the CAs, what happens is people will come to you knowing your name. Even after becoming your client, they might even not know your CA, your firm's name, right? They come for you as a chartered accountant. And which is why building a brand for you and not the firm is prima facie more important. I'm not saying the branding for firms is not important, but the first step is to build a brand for yourself. And this I've repeatedly told again and again, and even to my clients. Okay, so we will be covering a lot of aspects of personal branding for CAs. What exactly is personal branding? Why is it important? How can you develop that? So all these things will be covered under this topic of personal branding. The second topic that we will be covering intensively is offline branding for CAs. Now, again, we've said key ethical codes have, there are so many things that you need to take care of as a practicing CA. But what exactly can you do to brand yourself and to be there, to market yourself when you're meeting somebody? Okay, what are the things? How do you network, or how do you advertise yourself? How do you leave an impression for the person? How do you get the best out of, as a CA, you need to attend your study circle meets, your webinars, your seminars, a lot of events that CA or ICA organizes, or any networking event whatsoever that you are attending. How to get the best out of it? How to place a name for yourself in those events, or how to, get clients, how to PR, of course, again, PR, public relations, is something, again, you cannot do paid PR. But how can you use? There are a lot of techniques that you can use to really bring about a name for you, for yourself. How can you do that? Okay, there are a lot of strategies. So CAs are really, like I said, are so into their service. They are not totally into marketing, or they don't are not aware about the sales techniques or how to get those leads. So all these concepts will be covered for you. And we get to know more about what offline branding exactly is. The third topic, and something very special for me, is digital, your online branding. Okay. And when I say about digital presence, it's very, very important. You cannot not have a digital presence today as a practicing CA. So there are a lot of platforms that we cover, be it LinkedIn, be it Google, your Facebook, Instagram, Quora. There are so many platforms, and we'll be covering all these platforms, in detail. How can you build a brand for yourself over there? What can you? So this is a major question which lot of CAs face and have. So when I have a lot of CAs whose digital branding I do. They have this question, yeah, we don't know what to do and what not to do. Okay, this is a major concern. So we will cater to all these things, as to what can you do, what is not allowed, what is allowed, what you should do. Okay, all these aspects on digital branding we shall be covering. The fourth is, we'll try to get into more detail as to what are the ethics as a practicing CA, especially related to branding. And why are these ethics in place? We'll try and connect with, council members and people who are there into practice since many years, and try to understand the relevance, and also with their experience, what can you do and not do. The fifth and the very important aspect, I think this is the reason I am starting, one of the major reasons why I'm starting this, is inviting a lot of CAs on this platform, practicing CAs specifically, and understanding from their journey, what can you do, how have they grown, what have they done or not done, or sharing their experiences. Because I think the best way to learn is not through reading or technical, but to actually get to know people and to understand what have they gone through and their experiences are the best teacher, I feel. So getting to know them will be a great way to learn, and this is one of the major things that we will be doing in a major of our episodes on podcast. So whatever topics that I've told till now will be covered directly or indirectly in these episodes also, that where I will be inviting CAs to share about their experiences, more than, of course, ethics come into picture, but more than what are they doing, but about their growth journey is what we'll be talking. The sixth point is, of course, growth strategies. Under all this concepts that we have just spoken, what are the growth strategies that CAs can apply in their practice? Because again, I just now came from a meeting with a chartered accountant, the same issue. How should I grow? And growth will be very different for different people. Some are just starting, some are into that 3 to 4 years wala, where they have started, they have some amount of clients, now they are exploring. For people who have like 7 to 8 years of experience, now again they want some growth trajectory. And also people who have like 15 plus years of experience, and they are now looking for something very different. They want to grow, but they have this 15 years of work which binds them some way. So different stages of growth that we'll be talking, how these matters, how can you grow in different stages, and what exactly can you do as a practicing chartered accountant. We'll be talking about that. And also, one of the last but not the least, a very important aspect, and I think recently I also attended this startup event organized by ICAI, and CAs are doing amazing. And what I mean by this is the different kind of avenues that are opening up for chartered accountants, be it as a practicing CA or be it as an entrepreneur. What are the areas that you can really add value? What are the upcoming practicing fields that you can see. So we'll be covering all of these again through direct or through our conversations with other CAs. And this is what this whole podcast will be about. Okay, so I didn't want to keep this episode too long. What I want you to do is do share this about this podcast to your in your network, to your friends, your colleagues, your fellow chartered accountants. And also what I would request you to do is do leave in comments or send me messages if you have any specific query or something that you wish me to cover in these podcasts. I will be more than happy to cover those, because again, this podcast is to add value to you all. So if there's something that you really are interested in, you are facing some trouble, or you want to learn something about branding specifically, do let us know. Okay, so thank you so much for listening. This podcast will be up every Wednesday. Somehow Wednesday is celebrated as Women Day or something because of the WW, I think, but whatever. We'll be putting up on each Wednesday one episode. So looking forward for this. And thank you for listening, and stay tuned. We'll have some amazing guests on our podcast, and this is what we'll be all about. So thank you so much. Have a great, great, great 6 months of 2023 that is left. So all the best.